Hi everyone and welcome back to Wexcombe Manor Farm. If you watched the previous episode you'll know we were working in field number 14 where the grass is, and we're just currently picking it up because what we're going to do is we're going to put all of this into the silage pit, we're going to clamp it down and we're going to ferment it for hopefully quite a bit of money. So this is load number 2, it's virtually full, 96%, and there we go, 100% full. Wow, that is quite a mound of grass. So yeah, what we're going to do is head back to the yard, tip this, and then we do have one little job we need to do, and that is to clean out the cows. You might be thinking, oh, we're going to have to clean them out. You mean their muck? No, not the muck. It is actually their feeding area. They have made a bit of a mess. Now somebody did actually recommend that I download the table manners mod, which is where they don't actually spill anything. So it does make it easier, but obviously I think what we should do is just treat it as general tidying up in the yard rather than having to keep tidying up the animals every day. They are excessively messy, I suppose. It would be better if you had to muck them out as in their manure rather than their feed, but I suppose it's just the way that giants thought it would work best. The good thing is Bullet Bill has actually put mucking out of the cows in as a feature on Broughan farm, so that is really good. Whereas most maps, I think, you can't muck them out, it just appears in what they call the bunker. Right, so let's just reverse into this pit here. Ideally, we do need to have a vehicle going backwards and forwards over here, clamping it down, but I'm hoping we are just going to get away with doing it ourselves as we go over it. And then of course, probably halfway through we'll drive over it and clamp it. But this is load number 2 in here. And so far, it doesn't look very full. Anyway, yes, look how messy they've been. Terrible. Let's get them tidied up. You know what? Table manners would be good. Because this is really bad. How have they managed to get it over here? These cows, terrible creatures. It's making a big job for us, that's for sure. It's even under the trailer. I may be here sometime doing this. I'll clean up most of it. Obviously if there's a tiny bit left, it doesn't really matter. As long as most of it is done, then it'll be okay for the time being. It hasn't really taken them that long to become this messy. They have learnt very quickly. I suppose another thing which makes it trickier is the unevenness of the yard. Because I'm dealing with a bucket, it does make it harder. Okay, so what I've just tried to do is move the trailer, but I couldn't do. The Manitou isn't compatible with that hitch. So when we're not as busy, I'll get a tractor to move the trailer, but that would do. Obviously there is a few bits left here, but it is much cleaner than it ever used to be. They can have it back, floor food, and we're going to continue. It's even spilt into their pen. Maybe that means it's not ever going to be cleaned 100%. We may have to go in there and do it as well. But we have more pressing matters currently. We need to get this grass moved. I want to get it totally finished today. And yeah, the job after that is obviously to get a tedder and do the hay in the middle of the field. Because it's like a multi-purpose field, I've done it half and half. Half of it is going to be for silage, half of it is going to be for hay. When we can afford the tedder, we will obviously buy one. If we can't afford one, then I will just lease one, but I do lease way too much and I don't want to, it's because we have to. Also, I am aware that we have to do the fertilising in the potato field. However, because we turned the growth rate off to do this field, that won't have progressed at all, so it won't be ready for it. But very soon, I will be switching the growth rate back on again to slow. And in the next episode or two, we will have to respray field number 6. Thing is, I would turn it on now, the growth rate, but the hay still hasn't been done, and the last thing I want is for the fresh grass to be growing through the hay. That would look kind of weird. Here is load number 3. Virtually full. We're doing so well out of this, we're going to make a lot of money. There we go. Didn't even make it around the corner. This tractor probably shouldn't be towing this just because it is not really necessary since we have a bigger tractor. But on the whole, it seems to cope okay. I think this load can go to the left of the rest of it. Start tipping here. Now it's not going to look really impressive, this silage clamp, just because we don't have enough to make it look impressive. But I'm hoping it's going to look half decent. It does look very good when you've got a full one, but that would take quite a bit of grass. Anyway, we best head back for load number 4. And here it is, load number 4. So I think what I'm going to do is put a vote in this video. There should be an I at the top right hand corner of the screen, the video screen. If you click on that, you'll be able to bring up the options for the vote. And the options are about whether or not we should sell this for a fairly high price or a fairly low price, because I can decide, as there isn't actually a sell point for this, we have to do it in the files for the game, so I'll be doing it manually. But yeah, shall we sell this for £100 per 1,000 litres, £200 per 1,000 litres, or £300 per 1,000 litres? Up to you, please do vote. And when this is all fermented, we'll be selling most of it, not all of it, because we do need some for the cows. But yes, most of it is going to be sold. Anyway, in a second, what I'm going to do is a comment readout session. This was very popular back in my Goldcrest Valley series, so I think the best thing to do is to bring it back to Wexcombe Manor Farm. So what I've done is I've just loaded up my laptop and I can see all of the different comments from the previous Wexcombe Manor Farm videos. I am only going to read the comments from this series, otherwise it won't really make sense. Like if somebody says something about a tractor which I'm using in a different series, then yeah, that would really be strange talking about it in this series. But actually, talking about that, somebody called Harm has left a comment saying sell the Ford 8340 because you use it in every series. That is this tractor, if we can see through the dirt. So yeah, that is a suggestion I have been given. However, I don't think we will be getting rid of it in this series anyway. Possibly in a different one. The reason why not in this series, because it fits in really well. It's a good tractor. But yes, I do use it too much, I admit. So in some different episodes and some different series, we will get rid of it and replace it with something different. Anyway, let's just spin around here. This is the problem with doing comment readouts. I sort of get into the mood of it and I forget what I'm doing, which doesn't sound too good. Anyway, let me just set this to Wexcombe only. You won't be able to see this, but on my laptop I am going to the previous video, which was mowing in this field. And there they are. Got all the comments here. Oh, I can't look at two screens. Right, this is from somebody called George, and he says that we get £25 per bale. This is going back to the price of silage. As we know, Farming Simulator is very expensive when it comes to the price of crops. So, yeah, although it isn't totally realistic, the price they've just given you, we're going to have to go with it really, because otherwise this farm isn't going to be progressing anywhere. It really does need to have a money boost. So I think really the prices which I've given you there are fairly reasonable for Farming Simulator standards, even though in real life, yes, it isn't realistic. The next comment, I wish this map was on ModHub. Yes, that would be good. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it isn't out yet, but what we can do is just hope that the author of this map does release it, but it's totally up to them, so we can't really force them to. But yeah, one day maybe. Now the next comment is from Peter. Everybody, Cobra Park Farm is out on ModHub. It is indeed. The brand new Cobra Park Farm update is out on ModHub, the farming simulator website, so it's definitely worth downloading if your computer can support the map, but it is actually pretty easy to run. So you shouldn't have too many issues, especially if you drop your graphics setting. Wow, we're full again. That's unbelievable. I reckon this is load number 5. So we'll head back and tip it. Daggerwin, you should get the season mod. This is from Stevie. Yeah, that would be pretty good. I don't know how well I'll be able to do it. I've never actually looked at it before. I'm aware of the season mod, but I've never used it, so if I was to get it, I would have to practice with it first of all. Nothing worse than me downloading a mod and not having a clue what to do. Oh, that's not good. Right, next comment is quite interesting. It says, you do not need to have a tedder to do hay in Farming Simulator 17. Wouldn't that just turn it into a silage bale? That wouldn't be proper hay. I like your thinking, but to be fair, yeah, you would be able to bale the grass as it is, but technically that's going to be pretty wet grass. It won't have been dried out. We do need to tedder it first of all. So yeah, thanks for the comment. In future, if I do silage, I will do your theory there, but no, that wouldn't make it hay. Unless of course you're thinking of something else. Please clarify, please make it clear in this video what exactly you meant. You see, I have read your comment. Some people say, oh, you never read comments, ever. But I do. I read most of them. I try and read as many as I can do. And this is why I liked this idea in the first place, doing it in the Goldcrest Valley videos, because I could read them at the same time as playing, and reply to them live in the video. Whereas, it takes a lot of time to read and reply to comments from typing. Okay, Owen says, get the gearbox mod. Yes, I have seen that. I did see it on ModHub. Never used it again. If I was to get it, I would have to practice with it first. I hear it's not very good on hills, or just particular tractors aren't very good on hills. So yes, it sounds like it would require quite a bit of practice to make it perfect. But yeah, certainly realism there is quite high, so I like the idea. Menno says, what is power food? I was confused as well. A few episodes ago, I said, what's power food? I had no idea. But then it turned out to be total mixed ration. So it's when you're mixing the hay, straw and silage together to make a good blend of feed. So yeah, that's what power food is. To be honest, I don't know why it was called power food. Why not just call it total mixed ration? No idea. But yes, that is what power food is. Just flicking through the comments, some really kind comments there, thank you everybody. I won't read them out because it sounds like I'm boasting, but yep, thank you for all those comments. Yeah, a lot saying, I want the map. I don't blame you. It is a very good map. Okay, let's just spin around here. Yeah, it's incredible the amount of grass we're getting off this. Really good. Shame it's not a bit neater. I did make a bit of a mess of it really. It's because we had the follow me going and it wasn't exactly the right width, the windrower, so it did make a bit of a mess. That is a big man there. Wow. Okay, Kate says get a bank loan. That is not a bad idea, although in theory if we don't make money fast, it's going to put us even further into debt. But no, that is a good idea. If we desperately need money, instead of leasing, we could just take out a loan. What a mess. I can't believe this. I didn't know it was so bad. We'll get there in the end. It's almost full, so we'll head back up again. Jack wants me to get the Fendt Vario 724, and that has had quite a lot of likes on that comment as well. many likes. So yeah, I think that probably would fit in very well. If we ever do make some serious money on here, we will be replacing one of the tractors with a Fendt. But no, lovely suggestion. That is, I think, yeah, that would look amazing on here. I don't really use Fendts enough. Same with Valtra, I don't really use many Valtras either. Although, I did use one quite a bit on Chellington. So it's not like I never use one. I've lost count of the number of loads we've done here. Is this load number 6 or is it load number 7? I think it's 6. Anyway, it's taking shape. We don't have a great deal left to get, probably 2 more loads. So I'll head back and we'll finish off. Actually, just flicking through the comments, there is one comment which says, again, sell the 8340, which is this tractor here. And that's had 5 likes. So maybe I really should get rid of it. If we get a new tractor over, this will probably have to be the one we get rid of. It has been used a lot in most of my episodes, if not all of them. I think we even have it in the old stream farm map. Yeah, so yeah, I think probably this is the map we should get rid of it on. And this is the final part of the field, which we're going to do. Probably the deepest part as well. Look at that. The rest of it needs to be tedded. So, what we're going to do is head back to the yard, tip this. Whoa, quite a bit more here. Yeah, but we need to take it back to the yard, tip it, and then I think what we really need to do is buy, or possibly lease, the tedder. And then of course we do need to clamp the pit and cover it over. And then it can start to ferment. There we go. I think that is it. Good. So, we need to open the gate again, and I'll see you back at the yard. So there we have it. That is the pit as full as it's going to be. It doesn't look like much at all, but there is quite a bit there. Right, so what we need to do is put this down here. I think instead of taking it all off, we are just going to jump into a different tractor, probably the Massey Ferguson, wherever it is. Oh, there it is. It has the mower attached. So that can go there. Let's run over here. Yes, I really would like to buy the tedder instead of leasing it. I really hope we can afford it. Right, okay, so of course we'll check first of all just to see the slim possibility if we have a tedder already. No, we don't, okay. So 8.3 metres, this one here, and this one here is 6 metres. Is it really worth the big one? I wouldn't say it is. So £11,000, and we can't afford it. Oh good. It's annoying as well because very soon we're going to have the money from the silage. It looks like it's going to rain very soon. The forecast is for rain. That is good because it's going to wash our tractors. They're very mucky. Saves us from using a pressure washer. So yes, unfortunately, we are just going to have to lease this tedder. Hopefully it is going to be one of the last things we release on this map. Although I say that very loosely, as there's never a last thing I'm going to lease. I'm always leasing. Not really out of choice though. If I could buy it outright, I would do. Somebody said that we should just sell the stuff we never use, which isn't a bad idea. But is there really that much stuff we have? I don't know if we have much stuff at all. We're fairly thin on the ground when it comes to equipment. We're okay for tractors, but not really for implements. So we're going to go with the smallest one, which is the cheapest, luckily. And the front is this side. We hardly have any land that needs to be tedded anyway, so it would be a bit stupid to get a really big tedder just for the sake of saving maybe 10 minutes. So this is the Vicon Fanex 604. Just looking at the comments again, I've just seen a comment which says, Daggerwin, you're wrong about the tractor number. It's actually a 5600. That's what it says. But I said 5613. Yeah, it is a bit strange actually, because when you jump into the tractor like this, it does appear on the screen with 5600. But that is the range. It shows you the range. So within the range there could be a number of different models. But no, this one is the 5613. I went for the bigger tractor because it's got a better engine, much bigger engine. So despite it being still a physically small tractor, we've got the horsepower behind it, for example, for doing the mowing with. I think it's a good tractor for that because you've got really good visibility. But no, thank you for your comment. I could have been wrong, I usually am. But maybe on that occasion I wasn't. That would be a first. Here we are. So, oh, where's it gone? Where's that grass gone? Here it is. Very hard to see. It should become clear in a second. There we go. That's better. The grass seems to be already growing, although it can't be. I've turned it off. Maybe it just doesn't cut it very short. Yeah, so you can roughly see an outline of where we have cut for the hay. It will become very clear once I finish doing this. But once this job is completed, that'll be it for this episode, and then in the next episode we'll road this up and bale it all in one go. And then of course we need to move the bales, don't want to really leave them in the field because we need to speed up the time again so that the potatoes grow. Let me just go over here, spread this out. Should have picked that bit up really. There we go. We have now got the outline there so you can see exactly what there is. It doesn't really look like there's too much there, but maybe when it's all rowed up and baled it'll turn into quite a lot of bales. I'm hoping it will do. Not that we really need them for the animals. We do need them a bit, but not a great deal. Obviously the more we have, the more money we get. You do get more from silage bales, but we've done the silage. We don't want to keep doing silage. It will start to get a little bit boring. Plus we've just done it on a Cobra farm as well, so that is our silage for the week. That is going to do. There might be a little bit more next week, but I'm not too sure. And on Tuesday we will be returning to Old Stream Farm, or the Old Stream Farm I think it's called. Looking forward to that. I'm hoping to do a longer video. The only reason why I had a shorter video last week is because I was having some upload issues. Basically I upload through satellite, so it can be good, but it can also be fairly unreliable. We had some very thick fog and it blocked the signal, so I was finding it really hard to upload the videos I tend to upload. These videos which you're watching now, they're usually about 8 to 10 gigabytes in size, so pretty big as they're uploaded in 4K. Just 12 months ago the best I could do was 720, so that is a drastic improvement. Some of you have asked, why don't you do 1080p 60 frames per second instead of 4K at 30 frames per second? Well, the idea is really good, and for some people it's fantastic, but I did trial it once and it didn't really work for one reason. And that was because, with it being 60 frames per second rather than 30, those people watching, even in a lower resolution, found it much harder to load the video. It's a bigger file, so it doesn't matter if you were watching it in 360 at 30 frames per second or 360 at 60 frames per second, it will still become harder. So yeah, that is the reason why I don't record at 60 frames per second. Very simple, but it's a pretty big reason really, because you know, if no one can watch the video, or only those with high-speed internet, that's not very good. So I am going to be sticking with 30 frames per second. Maybe in many years to come, when everybody has high-speed internet, which I find very hard to believe because even I have terrible internet, then yeah, maybe then 60 frames per second will be normal. But certainly for the time being, 30 is the way it's going to stay. Even though that can be very disappointing for some people. So we've almost finished here. My pedals just stopped working because for some reason the game minimised, and when the game minimises, the pedal stops working. I don't know why. Weird. It did it the same in 15, so nothing new. The steering wheel works, just the pedals don't do anything. If you restart the game, it's fine. I don't even know why it minimised. Something to do with Fraps, but Fraps is working fine. So, yep, almost there. Tiny bit left. And that is us done. So there we have it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like. And until next time, thanks again, and see you again very soon. Bye for now.